Good morning, everybody. I wanted to give you a quick and simple lesson on the structure and organization of your brochures. And so I have put together this delightful visual aid. So I'm just going to walk you through the way that your brochure should be organized. I want you, as you're putting your brochure together, to remember some of those important style best practices that we've talked about all semester. So things like headings and subheadings, keeping it all to the same font, and then just distinguishing the parts and levels by changing the weight and the size of your font. Remember that you should use consistent colors throughout, and that your visuals should be a consistent format. So if you have cartoon images, then those need to be cartoons throughout. And the best thing for a brochure is really to have photographs. And so that's what I suggest that you use. So let me give you kind of a walkthrough on how the brochure is going to be put together. Now remember that you should have a specific audience, and keep that in mind, especially when you're choosing the graphics and the content, all right? So this is the front page, and on your front page you're going to have your title. It might be down here. I mean, there's some flexibility in the way that you lay this out. Then you're going to have a very large and eye-catching graphic element. Remember that the way that you're going to get people to look at your brochure is to catch their eye with a graphic element, and it needs to be something that is interesting to them and that is something that they are interested in looking at, which is why that audience is so important. All right, so down here you're going to have maybe a catchphrase or a slogan for the organization. Again, this is going to be something that means something to the audience. All right, what are they looking for? What are they wanting out of the service that your organization provides? And it could be entertainment, or it could actually be some kind of service or product that you're selling. All right, so that's the front. Now you're going to open it up, and what you're going to see are two things. All right, we're going to come back to this front page later, but right now I want you to look at this sort of fold out page. So what most people do is they open it, they see this, and then they open the rest. So this is a very short-lived attention grabbing piece of your brochure. So people aren't going to look at it for very long at all. It's really ephemeral. So I want you to really think about something that's not crucial information, that is maybe helpful information, something that could be repeated, or something that people want really quickly. So for example, contact hours, contact information or hours, pricing, things like that. All right, now be careful with something that might change. So for example, if you think that prices could change, brochures are pretty short-lived, so you might be able to get people to use a brochure for a year or two, but not much longer than that. So it's typically okay to have something that might change in the future, but not too fast. So for example, if it's a class or something like that, and you put the time in the schedule, that could change within a semester. So just kind of keep that in mind, all right? Okay, so I'm going to pull this out, and then what we're going to see are the really important, this is really the heart of your brochure. So on the front page, you're going to have a graphic. You might have a caption telling what your graphic is. If it's really evident, right, because you're going to start with a heading and then a brief introduction of whatever it is that your brochure is about, then you might not have to have a caption. All right, but keep in mind, if it's anything where people might need the caption, then it's a good idea to include it. All right, and then the rest of your brochure is going to be a mixture of written and graphic content, and kind of balance it. So one way to really get an idea if your brochure is balanced is to hold it out in front of you and then kind of squint at it. And then if it looks as though the whole thing has something in it, if there are no like glaring places where there's white space or it's too heavy in one area, then it's probably pretty well balanced. All right, so the last thing that we're going to talk about is the back page. And the back of your brochure is going to really be pretty blank. All right, you're not going to have much content here at all. Largely, this is in case the person that you created the brochure for wants to mail it out. And so you may have a return address, or you may have some contact information here at the bottom, but typically you're not going to have much content at all on the back of the brochure. All right, now remember, I am available in the mornings, usually you can almost always catch me between 9 and 11 in the morning. So if you have a question and you need me, be sure to pop into Zoom and I will talk to you. I'm kind of lonely, so it'd be nice to see everybody. All right, take care of yourselves, stay safe, and hopefully I will see you around someday soon.